Glen Kuiper, longtime announcer for the Oakland A's. He's been a broadcaster for, I think, 20 years or something at this point in time. He made pretty much the biggest mistake you can make as someone who does anything, whether it's covering live sports, whether it's making a live speech, whether it's here on YouTube. He said the N-word with the hard R. Now, it seemed to everybody, to anybody, I think, with a normal brain out there, I think you can clearly tell it was a mistake, that it's not something he intended to do, and it's not something even people really caught in the moment, because it would be so outlandish for someone to think that they could just get on live television and say it, but he did say it nonetheless. He was talking about the Negro League Museum, and he said the N-word League Museum. He said it really quick, and everybody just kind of moved past it. The sixth inning, he comes on air and gives a big apology. He sounded shaken. He sounded upset. He sounded ashamed. And now, after a lot of backlash, people calling for his job, people calling even for Dallas Braden's job, who was sitting there next to him and clearly didn't even notice that that word was uttered either. Now we find out that he is, in fact, being suspended. Oakland A's announcer Glen Kuiper suspended after using racial slur during broadcast. The A's said the incident during a pregame broadcast was unacceptable. They said on Saturday, Kuiper will be removed from the air while the incident is reviewed. I don't know.
I mean,
what are you going to review?
Yeah, exactly. What are you going to review? We got the tape is out there. I mean, are you going on intent?
Yeah, people can be mind readers, apparently, in this case. They're like, wow, he must say it all the time if he was able to have a mix-up like that. And you even have Bob Kendrick, I've had some criticism for him when he talked about there was no black players in the World Series, which meant that was the end of the world. He had some words for me in response to that before. But, you know, he says, listen, I've known this guy for a long time. I can't imagine that he meant to do something like that. I think everyone should find forgiveness in their heart. That's what the president of the Negro League Museum said about the situation. But it hasn't stopped the A's from suspending him. And it's only a matter of time. I don't think there's any way he comes back, because to me, you're right, John. Would you do training? Do you sensitivity training for something that was clearly a mistake? Like there is no way in hell that was intentional. It was clearly a mistake. Yeah. And unless you're part of the 0.001% out there that's just absolutely retarded about this situation, there's no way you can't claim that it wasn't an accident. So what's he supposed to? What kind of atonement are you supposed to do for something like that?
I'll tell you this, man. He will be lucky if he's only suspended for the rest of the season. I'm thinking he's probably going to lose his job. We were actually talking beforehand about was it Tom Brenneman? Was it last season, the season before? He dropped a quote unquote homophobic slur on a hot mic, and bam, he was done. This word right here, though.
This word is obviously going to get more backlash for certain reasons. The N-word with the hard R, just let's specify what it was. You know, what Tom Brenneman said, I don't think the guy should have been canceled the way he was. I'm not particularly offended over the word that he used, the F slur, but that is a case of he was using it. Like he was actively saying that.
That was intentional. He just didn't realize that he was on air. Exactly.
He intentionally used it, which I have no problem with that at all. But, you know, there's a little difference between that and this. This was clearly a mistake and not intentional at all to utter that word.
Because who in their right mind would actually go out there on TV, drop that word, knowing they would lose their job? I don't think anybody's actually going out there to lose their job. It was clearly a mistake.
I completely agree with you. It was a mistake. I don't know what he's supposed to do as penance. What is he supposed to do to make up for this? Are they going to say, well, you know, if you could make a mistake like that, if you could accidentally say that, that must mean that you're actually a racist in your heart, that in your mind you're a racist. You think these things all the time. So what do you have to do? And I don't know. The answer is Glen Kuiper probably will be forever scarred by this, which is crazy to me.
I think he's going to get fired. Look what happened at Barstool with the guy over there, Ben Mintz. Done.
And that was a soft day.
And then at that, he was rapping lyrics from a rap song. No, not good enough. You're fired.
Yeah, there is no doubt that there's way too much out there over these words. just these words. And oh, if you're this color, you can't say this word, but if you're that color, you can say this word. You can't say this word because it offends these people. At the end of the day, what is someone's intentions using a word? I think that's the most important part.
Yeah, it's all about intention. But check this out. If somebody on the air dropped a slur accidentally against white people, guess what? They'll still be on the air today. They would. Everybody in the chat knows that too.
Yeah, you're 100% right. It's because it's when it's against certain people of certain colors or certain classes or certain sexualities, that's when it becomes a problem. And for Glen Kuiper, that's someone's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Someone who's a live broadcast, that is someone's worst nightmare to accidentally mess up in a way like that. And now he's indefinitely suspended and his career might be over.